What if I told you that your seat, the one you carefully selected, maybe even paid extra for, the one by the window so you could lean your head against the wall and pretend you're in a movie, could disappear in seconds without a single warning announcement at the gate? Imagine this: you're at the airport, coffee in hand, boarding pass glowing on your phone, feeling calm. And then a soft chime hits your inbox. Your seat has been reassigned. No explanation, no apology, just gone. Sounds dramatic. It's not. It's happening more often than travelers realize. And the new airline policies quietly rolling out behind the scenes are giving carriers more power than ever to cancel, reassign, or completely void your seat sometimes, even after you've boarded. Welcome back to Golden Age Travel Tips, where we pull back the curtain on what airlines don't exactly advertise in bold letters. Today, we're diving into the new airline policies that can cancel your seat instantly. And trust me, some of these are subtle, almost invisible changes in the fine print that most people never read. Let's start with something airlines are calling dynamic seat optimization. Sounds harmless, right? It's basically an algorithm that constantly reshuffles seating to maximize operational efficiency. That's the formal term. In simple English, if the system thinks your seat would make more money occupied by someone else, maybe a last-minute full-fare passenger, maybe an elite member, it can move you instantly. No human involved, just software. And while airlines won't say they cancel your seat, they absolutely reserve the right to reassign it under operational necessity. That phrase is the golden key. Operational necessity can mean weight balance adjustments, aircraft swaps, crew rest requirements, or even something as vague as service enhancement. If your plane changes from a larger aircraft to a smaller one, and that's happening more with fleet flexibility strategies, some seats simply vanish. And guess what? The computer decides who gets bumped from a specific seat zone first, usually basic economy, sometimes even regular economy if fare classes shift. Another quiet policy shift involves check-in timing. Many airlines now embed clauses that state if you fail to check in within a specific digital windows, as short as 45 minutes before departure for domestic flights, your seat can be released automatically, even if you're physically standing in the security line. Yes, you could be inside the airport and still lose your seat because your app didn't confirm in time. And here's the twist. Some airline systems treat incomplete check-ins as no intent to travel. That's the wording, no intent to travel, which triggers automatic seat reallocation to standby passengers, and standby lists are longer than ever. Then there's biometric boarding integration. Airports introducing facial recognition boarding gates are tied to real-time passenger verification. If your biometric data doesn't match instantly, maybe lighting issues, maybe a passport scan glitch, a system can flag you as unverified. In certain trial programs, flagged passengers temporarily lose boarding clearance status, and if boarding is closing, the seat can be reassigned. No dramatic confrontation, just a quiet technicality. Let's talk about payment authorization holds. This one is sneaky. Some airlines are implementing rolling payment verification up until departure. That means if your credit card issuer flags the transaction after booking, maybe a fraud alert, that you didn't respond too quickly enough, the airline can suspend your ticket status pending verification. Suspend often means seat inventory returns to the pool. And if the flight fills up while you're resolving it, tough luck. Your confirmed seat becomes history. Now, add loyalty tier recalibration. Airlines are tightening elite benefit enforcement. If your loyalty status changes between booking and departure, say, you missed a required segment to maintain status, your priority seat privileges can be revoked. Exit row, extra legroom, preferred aisle, gone. Some travelers have shown up expecting their premium economy assignment, only to find themselves in a standard middle seat because their tier updated overnight. Technically within policy. Emotionally frustrating. Overbooking isn't new, but predictive overbooking is evolving. Carriers now use AI forecasting models that calculate no-show probabilities down to behavioral patterns. If you've historically changed flights last minute or missed connections, algorithms may categorize you as a higher no-show risk. While airlines won't publicly admit targeting individuals, internal yield systems prioritize confirmed boarding probability. That can influence which seats are considered flexible in reassignment scenarios. It's not personal. It just feels like it. And here's something hardly discussed. Device synchronization errors. Mobile boarding passes must sync with the airline's central database. If your app goes offline and fails to refresh a gate change or a seat map update, the system might show you as unconfirmed in the final boarding sweep. Gate agents often work from live manifests. If your status indicator isn't green, they may clear standby into your seat seconds before you scan. You walk up confident, beep, error. That's a brutal moment. Aircraft weight and balance recalculations are another hidden trigger. On smaller regional jets especially, precise passenger distribution matters. If too many travelers select seats in one zone and not enough volunteer to move, automated systems can reassign seats without prior consent. Usually, you're still on the flight, but not always in the seat you chose. In rare cases involving cargo load adjustments, entire seating rows can be blocked. Those passengers are the first candidates for reaccommodation if the flight is oversold. Then there's the rise of ancillary integrity checks. Translation: airlines auditing add-on purchases like seat upgrades, priority boarding, or bundled packages. If the system detects what it interprets as misuse, maybe you change the segment. Maybe you split a reservation. It can detach ancillary benefits. That can cascade into seat reassignment because your upgrade class no longer applies. Even something as small as correcting a name spelling error through customer service can temporarily reissue your ticket number. During that reissue window, your seat assignment can drop if inventory tightens. Yes, even typos can create turbulence. Whether disruptions create chain reactions, when irregular operations hit, airlines prioritize rebooking by fare value and elite tier. If your original aircraft is rerouted and equipment swaps occur, seat maps regenerate. The policy language often states seat assignments are not guaranteed. That line matters. It gives airlines legal flexibility. And while most disruptions are handled fairly, in peak travel seasons, when every seat counts, instant cancellations can happen quietly in the shuffle. Let's not ignore group booking fragmentation. If you're part of a group reservation and one person modifies their itinerary, some reservation systems temporarily break the group PNR into separate records. During that split, seat allocations can reset. If inventory is tight, not all original seats are recoverable. Families have arrived at gates only to find their once adjacent seats scattered. Not malicious, just procedural, still stressful. Another policy emerging involves security compliance holds. If your secure flight data doesn't match TSA database's precisely middle name differences, passport renewals not updated, the airline can place your booking in pending status. While most holds resolve quickly, last-minute unresolved flags can release seats back to inventory. It's rare, but rare feels massive when it's you. Now here's a subtle behavioral policy shift. Gate presence verification. Some airlines are experimenting with monitoring passenger proximity via app Bluetooth pings near departure time. If the system determines you're not within a designated boarding zone by a certain cutoff, it can classify you as absent. That's controversial. It's also being tested quietly. Technology is moving faster than public awareness. And then there's fare family enforcement. Basic economy fares increasingly come with strict compliance rules. Miss your boarding group call? Seat can be reassigned. Attempt to bring unauthorized carry-on. If resolution delays boarding beyond cutoff, you risk losing the seat entirely. The contract of carriage backs this up. Policies are written broadly on purpose. Let's talk about aircraft downgrades. If a plane scheduled with seatback screens or premium rows gets swapped for a more basic configuration, premium seat categories may not exist on the new aircraft. Airlines typically refund the difference. Yes, but your exact seat, gone. And if the downgraded plane has fewer total seats, someone gets bumped. The computer decides. Short, cold, efficient. Something else travelers overlook is connection protection. If you're on a tight layover and your inbound flight is delayed, the system predicts whether you'll make the connection. If it determines the probability is too low, it can preemptively release your seat to standby and rebook you on a later flight, even if you sprint and actually reach the gate in time. That hurts. You see the plane? You were fast, but the algorithm already moved on. Data-driven, emotionless. Also, watch out for silent schedule changes. Airlines frequently adjust departure times by a few minutes. If you don't acknowledge a schedule change, email in some systems. Your booking may enter a passive status requiring Most people never notice until check-in fails. That's when panic sets in. And let's not forget code share complexity. When you book through one airline but fly on another, seat assignments are controlled by the operating carrier. If integration between systems hiccups, your selected seat might not transfer properly. You think you're confirmed? The operating airline sees open inventory. Guess what happens next? Exactly. So what can you do? First, check in the moment it opens, set an alarm. Screenshot your seat assignment immediately after booking and again after check-in. Refresh your airline app a few hours before departure to ensure synchronization. Keep payment methods clear of fraud alerts when traveling. Update loyalty profiles before booking, not after. Arrive at the gate early. Physically present matters. If traveling in a group, avoid unnecessary itinerary modifications once seats are secured, and always read the contract of carriage at least once. It's long, it's boring, but hidden in those paragraphs are the rules shaping your travel reality. Here's the bigger picture. Airlines are not villains plotting against you. They're businesses optimizing revenue, logistics, and compliance in a hyper-sure, razor-thin margin industry. But optimization can feel ruthless when you're the passenger affected. The key is awareness. Calm awareness, because once you understand how and why seats can vanish, you move differently. You prepare. You reduce your risk, and that's what Golden Age Travel Tips is about. Travel smarter, age wiser, stay ahead. Before you go, I want you to think about this. Has your seat ever been changed without warning? Did you assume it was random? Or could one of these quiet policies have been behind it? Drop your experience in the comments. Your story might help another traveler avoid the same shock. And if this opened your eyes even a little, hit subscribe to Golden Age Travel Tips and turn on notifications. Because next time, we're exposing another layer of the travel world most people never see. Stay sharp, stay curious, and never assume your seat is safe until that plane door closes.